Hi friends, I'm Gina. I'm a wife and mother of 2 children, and this is my channel full of Grace Stitches. If this is your first time here, welcome. It's so nice to see you. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm so glad that you could join me today. I post weekly episodes of works in progress, finished objects, news and updates, your questions and comments, and more. I love all things crochet and creative makings. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Why don't you go ahead and grab your project, whatever you're working on, your favorite beverage, get cozy, and let's get started. So you may notice that I have a basket here of some yarny goodies. And the first project that I wanted to share is this Painted Anemones Doily by Sandra Paul. I shared this in my last video, and now I have this doily and a back. And so when I was initially making this, I didn't read the pattern completely through, and the very last row of the Potholder version, you actually don't crochet this final row. You use that final row to attach the back. So when I went through and saw the end of the pattern, I realized that little mishap. So I'm just going to keep this one as a doily. And so this is, I guess, a finished object as well for this actual item here, but I am still going to use this backing. I've created several more of the start of the Painted Anemones, and these I'm going to actually make into the pot holders. I'm going to follow the pattern and do the final row with the attachment of the back, so that way I have the completed version. I hope that makes sense. If you're familiar with her pattern, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But this one I'll just keep as the doily since I went ahead and completed that final round. I didn't want to frog it and take it apart, so I just decided, well, this is a good practice round, and I'll just go ahead and keep that as the doily. But you can see here, that's what it will look like plus the backing. So the backing will be attached in that final round of this pattern. So hopefully next week you'll see that as a final object here with one of these. So the next project I wanted to share is my Dainty Daisy Granny Square. If you've been watching me for a few weeks now, you've definitely been hearing me speak about this project. I'll just touch over it briefly today, but just to give people that are new around here a brief little intro. So these are the Dainty Daisy Granny Squares. I will put a link in the description box so that you can go back to my first episode when I introduced this project, and you can watch that video to see all the details regarding this project. But I do have an update on my progress. So last week, I believe I checked in with you all. It was, I had 170 completed squares. Now I have 230. We had a little day trip over the weekend. I was able to complete more squares than usual in that little time frame that we were driving. So I was really excited about that. So I have 230 now, and my goal is to get to 480 to complete a blanket for my daughter. What I need to do is I think I need to lay out all the squares and just see where I'm at as far as size with what I have with 230. But my goal is to get to 480 to make a Afghan sized blanket for her birthday. So that's the Dainty Daisy Granny Square blanket. I'll be sure to link everything below if you have any questions, and I'll be sure to provide details in the description. So another project that I've been working on is the temperature blanket for 2023. I've been sharing this every week, and I think I kind of want to change it up a little bit as far as how often I'm sharing the temperature blanket. I'm feeling like the progress is so small every week that I just think it might be redundant to share that every week with you all, but let me know what you think in the comments. I'm thinking about just sharing that project with you in the in this portion of the podcast once a month at the end of the month. So that way I can have a little bit more to show rather than just 7 rows every week. So I don't, besides that doily that I just shared with you, the painted anemones, I don't have any other projects that are completed this week. I've just been working on more of these blanket style projects, which are longer term, but I am looking to start a new project, and I'm actually going to talk to you about my project wish list in the news and updates portion of this podcast. So we'll go ahead and talk about that now. So for news and updates, I have several projects on my wish list. One in particular is a granny stripe blanket that I want to start for my son. And last week in my episode, I unboxed some yarn with you, and I didn't realize that the neutral color that I had chosen was actually a size 3, while the main color was a size 4. I don't know what happened. I thought when I ordered these online from Michael's that they were going to be both the same size yarn. So I had to improvise, and I actually bought another neutral color yarn that is the same weight as the main color. So everything is uniform. So I will share what that looks like. So the main color, I got 4 skeins of this. It's the Karen Cotton Cakes. I shared this in my unboxing last week. This is a size 4 worsted weight yarn. It's 60% cotton, 40% acrylic in the colorway High Tide. And so this will be the main part of the granny stripe blanket. And then I ordered, as the neutral color, I ordered the Karen Blossom Cakes in the colorway Yacht Club. And this is also a size 4. They're both really soft. And I needed something that was going to be the same size, because I know that when you're creating projects like a blanket, you want all of your yarn to be uniform in size, so you don't have any unpredictable results. I will, though, however, keep that other neutral yarn and use it to make a shawl or something. Actually, I had pointed out when I unboxed that last week that there's a shawl pattern on the label of the yarn, and I thought, oh, this is kind of cute. So maybe I'll do that one in the future. That granny stripe blanket, I would probably follow the pattern from Attic 24, and there's another one by CJ Designs that actually has the alternating color pattern that I'm looking for. So I might use one of those or kind of take from both of those patterns to create this one. And it's going to be for my son, because he's been asking me for a blanket that he can snuggle up with. And once I finish the Dainty Daisy Granny Square, I will have a lot more time to devote to his blanket then. So a couple of other projects on my wish list is and I mentioned this one last week also, Just Feel Festive Shawl by Kalisha Ryan. I am going to use the Lion Brand Mandala Ombre yarn in the colorway Felicity. And I'll insert images of what that pattern looks like and what that yarn will look like too. I also want to make basic crochet toe-up socks. There's a pattern by Nicole Cormier. And I picked up some Hobby Lobby Yarn Bee Rainbow Rhapsody in the Gerbera Daisy Garden colorway. And I shared that in my Hobby Lobby haul video. So maybe if you want to see what that looks like in detail, you can check that out too. And I also ordered some double pointed needles for knitting, because I want to check out the Vanilla Socks knitting pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. I do want to try that. And I'm just curious if you do knit socks, do you use DPNs, double pointed needles, or do you use circular needles? It's just interesting to see what people use. I have knitted socks long way in the past, and I use double pointed needles. There is a pattern by Green Frog Crochet. It's a Mia Amigurumi doll. That's also something that I'd like to make for my daughter someday. It is on my wish list. I've actually already purchased yarn for this project as well. It's the Hobby Lobby I Love This Yarn size 4 worsted weight yarn. And that's something that it's a really cute doll that has this outfit that you can change the outfits on the doll. The pattern doesn't include the different outfits, but I'm sure you could just find amigurumi doll outfits that you could create for, you know, to change the shoes and to change the outfits. I just think that's like so cute and something that my daughter could have when she's a little older. So that's a project that's on my mind, but to maybe begin way kind of down the road. Another project is this adorable meadow romper. I'll probably work on this sooner in the future. It's the Meadow Romper by Mon Petit Violon Design. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But this is adorable. I don't have any yarn for this one yet, but I just think it's so cute. And there is a size for 12 to 18 months. So if I can start that soon, then my daughter could wear it. And I just think it'd be so adorable for the summer. One other project that I have just been like wanting to do, it's like a dream project, is the Battenberg blanket by Sandra Paul of Cherry Heart. I just love her patterns. I've already discussed so many of her patterns already on this channel, but I love her patterns. And the Battenberg blanket is another long-term project. I really need to start looking at projects that are shorter term, that are quicker, so that I can have a balance between these quicker projects and more long-term projects. Have you done the Battenberg blanket? I know it's a really popular one, and I'm just curious if you have done it. Did you do her modular join that she recommends in her pattern, or did you do a different join for your squares? I haven't started joining any squares for this Dainty Daisy blanket yet, but I am interested in doing the continuous join as you go. And I think I would like to do that for the Battenberg as well once I start getting that one started. There's another crochet podcaster. I think she's more knitting, but she also does some crochet projects. Her channel is called The Pine Cottage, I think. And she talks about her Battenberg blanket that she's working on. And she says that she wants to do 10 squares a month. So maybe that's something I could do. You know, it's not a huge commitment, but it's 10 squares and they're solid squares. There's not a lot of color changing like in some other types of granny squares. So maybe I'll just need to secure the yarn that I want to use for that and determine if I want to use a size 3 weight for that, which I think I do. Her pattern, I believe, is a fingering weight yarn. But I don't know. I'm just kind of debating on that if I want to maybe do that as like a monthly goal to complete 10 squares. What are you working on? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Another project that's not actually crochet related is a wreath that I made for my front door. I just finished it and hung it up on the door. I'm going to insert an image of what that looks like really quick. I don't know if any of you do your own wreath making. This was my first time making my own wreath. So I'm just learning and starting out, but yeah, I thought it was kind of a fun project, something different to do. And I had been working on it for quite some time. And then I finally just said, I'm finishing this. I'm ready to move on from this. That's it for today, my friends. Thanks again for watching my video. It's been great visiting with you. Everything I've talked about will be linked down below. Please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you know of anyone who might be interested in this content, please share this video with them. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.